Yeah, that's basically it. I'm Eli. I'm going to tell you in a few words about what we're doing. So I'm the CEO of Startup Link. It's basically a global startup ecosystem map and a research center. That's what we're working on, and I'm going to quickly share it with you on the screen. So the idea is that we built a map that has more than 70,000 startups, co-working spaces, accelerators, and so on. We teamed up with Crunchbase, SimilarWeb, SEMrush, powerful companies. What we encourage you to do, firstly, if you have a startup, register on the map. It's free and it's good to get visibility, good to get SEO link. Always try to register to more and more directories. Other than that, I'll just tell you that you're probably here because we have the communities on Meetup. We have about 30 communities around the world with 30,000 entrepreneurs. The most important thing for you from Startup Link is what's below the table. And these are ranking tables showing you the rankings, the ecosystem rankings of 1,000 cities and 100 countries. Why is it important? Because you as a founder, one of the most important decisions that you're not going to dedicate enough time to deciding on is where are you starting your startup? And you have to make sure that you're in the right country and in the right city as well. So not all of you should be in San Francisco or New York or London, but if you have to choose between places in the Baltic region or East Europe or whatever, you can kind of do it here. So you can kind of do all the filtering and so on. Let's say you're in Africa and you want to pick what are the what are the best cities in Africa to start a startup. You can see them on Startup Link. It's very comprehensive. It's a giant algorithm. It makes sense to start your business in a good ecosystem. It will do wonders for your startup. So if you're in a place where nothing is happening, when let's say there is no support, when there is no entrepreneurial community, you're basically decreasing your chances of success, especially if you want to build something big, by 90%. So take a look and if needed, relocate if needed. Good. So let's see. I did want to share a few links with you just before we begin. So I'm going to copy paste them in the chat. Just a second. I'm going to explain what they are. So this is our pitch basically. So those are the, the partners that are keeping us alive. So what did I share over here? First of all, startuplink.com, the first link, this is how you register to the map, register your startup. The second link is t.me WorkJams. This is our Telegram channel with more than 1,000 entrepreneurs, I think, even more. So if you want to keep the discussion and ask questions about startups in general, join the Telegram channel. We have a city partnership program that is dedicated for those of you who are leading their ecosystems. This is the link below. We are doing meetups in dozens of cities on the weekend in Starbucks usually. So check it out. This is the other link. And the next pitching event is going to be next month. So if you want to register, you can check it out tomorrow. We're probably going to put the date there. And you can also invite your friends. A few deals from our partners. The first link that you see from our partners deals is SEMrush. SEMrush is for market intelligence. And they're giving you models to understand your competitors, understand what are they doing and how do they give traffic, how do they get traffic. They're giving you one model for free if you take their offer. This is only for Startup Link members. It's an amazing deal, honestly. Bluehost is the second partner that we have. This is for hosting. If you need to start a website, here is a link. You have a discount. It's also an affiliate link, so it will help us keep the pitching events live. They're a great hosting company. We're using them. And the last link is Hubstuff. This is how we manage a team of 7 people in Startup Link. It does basically time tracking and reports, and it really brings a lot of sanity to the process of managing a remote team. So Hubstuff is totally recommended. You have 10% off. And that's basically it. So we are ready to start. And the first person is going to be starting today, according to the QA, is Matthew Vincent. Matthew, you're doing a cryptocurrency mining company. Interesting. So I'm going to promote you to, let me know in the chat if you're ready. Send me a quick message on the chat so I can know if I can promote you. After Matthew is going to be Rob, Julian, and Scott. If anyone else wants to pitch, Q&A button. I can't track the chat, so Q&A button, and we're going to try to have space for you as well, if not next week. So Matthew, I'm looking for your confirmation. Actually, Matthew, Rob, Julian, Scott, whoever wants to go first. Okay, Matti wants to go first. Okay, so Matti, we're promoting you. Just a second. And again, I'm asking for the people in the chat. You're the mentors for today, so we're kind of counting on your feedback. Good. So Matti, I'm promoting you to a panelist. Okay, Matti, there is an unmute button and also a camera button that you can use.
Unmute, start video. Hi.
Yes, good.
Hi, guys.
See you.
Hi,
Excellent.
can you hear me?
We can hear you as well. Where are you calling from?
Excellent. I'm from France.
Ah, nice. Paris.
I'm from France, but yeah, but been living in Dublin for 9 years. Lost with the numbers, too many numbers. Yeah, 9 years. 9 years in Dublin, so
excellent.
not far from London, where big things happening in Dublin.
In the height of winter from Dublin.
Yes, yes. The rain, but wait, oh, it's rainy as well in summer, so rain all the time.
Don't go to Dublin if you can. Actually, it's a good ecosystem. Good, Matthew. You want to share a presentation with us?
Yes, sure.
So there is a green share button.
Share this. Let me find this. Share screen should be that one. Should be that one. Let me see this one. Share screen. So just let me know if you can see my screen with the logo Summit Mining.
Can. It's amazing. Go for it. You have your 4 minutes. Good luck.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So thanks for the opportunity. So I'm going to show you what we are doing with Summit Mining, which is my company. So we help generate monthly incomes by mining cryptocurrencies. Wait, it's not working. Okay, perfect. So who am I and how it started? So it's been 15 years that I'm trading stocks on the market, and I did it professionally for a bank for 7 years in Dublin. And 2 years ago, I started to be interested in cryptocurrencies, and I was wondering how can I make passive income, but in a safe way with cryptocurrencies, because I like all these things with rents, like investment. So I was wondering, and the answer was by mining cryptocurrencies. So what's a cryptocurrency? So it's a digital currency, which means there's no coins and no notes, no checks, no nothing. And it's decentralized, which means there's no bank. And obviously, everybody knows that the most famous one is the Bitcoin. And now what is mining? The mining is the fact of validating transactions. So I was telling you there's no bank. So there's no bank to make sure that when you try to send money, you actually have this money and that the transaction is legitimate. So there are some people that use this type of computer, like you can see on the side. And for each transaction verified, they receive a commission. And that's what is called mining. Of course, I make it very simple and very short so that everybody understands. So basically, you can buy those machines and run them by yourself. And it's very challenging because it's quite difficult. You need to pay for electricity. In Europe, it's very high, but the yields are also very high. As you can see, 2 to 30% per month, yes, per month. And you can see 9% on average this year. So that's the result that we have achieved this year. But the main problem in this thing, apart from the fact that it's difficult to have a cheap electricity, is the scams. So that's where we come to help you if you're interested in this type of service. So we choose, purchase, and manage the machines for you. So you don't need any special skill. We do everything for you. That's the first thing. And then we share all the machines with all the clients. So we mutualize all the machines, all the equipment we buy, and that's lowering your risk, because if I buy you one machine and it's broken, then you should support the cost. If all the machines are shared with everyone, then it's much better for you, because if one machine is broken, well, everyone is paying a tiny amount to fix that machine, so you're not impacted as strong. And when new models are released, well, of course, you benefit from those models automatically. The advantage of our service is that the company is based in Europe, plus, well, the small typo, it's not the sign, but we signed a strong contract, so security is very important for us. So that's why we wanted to keep the company in Europe. We pay the money every month. So at the end of the month, we check what was mine. We deduct all the fees, which are 95% electricity. And then we send you the net amount on your cryptocurrency wallet. If you don't know what's a wallet, no problem. We help you set up. We do everything to help you. And the thing is that to be very fair with the investors, we only take a commission or a service fee on what you mine net. So if the profit is very low, well, we make very low money, but that pushes us to offer better service and deliver better result for you. And as I was saying, we help you understand the cryptocurrency ecosystem, wallets, Bitcoin, what is it, blockchain, and everything. Some numbers quickly. We are 3 in this company. So far, we have 76 investors. So at today's date, we mined $235,000 over the past 2 years since we started. 300 machines. They are in Russia. Why? Because it's cheaper to install the machines there. There's less delivery time, less fees for everything, no custom duties, and electricity is quite low. So electricity has a big impact on the final price of the profitability. And I just want to finish this short presentation with some photos of the machines and what it looks like to have mining machines. So that's a trip in China. You see, like that's one that was one of the orders that we had. A huge order with plenty of machines. That's not our farm. We call the place where we store the machines mining farms. So that's not one of our farms. It's a picture taken from internet, but that does exist. So it looks like that. It's really impressive. This one, well, obviously it's me. So
Matthew, we have 30 more seconds. So
yeah, that's perfect. I'm nearly done. Just the photos left. So that's a mining farm as well. That I took that photo. Another photo that I took with a drone. So you can see that they are building more places. That's in China, still in China. Another photo. And that's one of the electric power stations that the electricity is coming from, because we are only using green electricity, because it's important for us to only use that and not to use charcoal. Voila, so thank you very much for listening. It was short and very interesting. I hope for you, and I hope you learned some few things, and you're gonna get interested in that. Thank you very much.
Great. So Matthew, if I understand correctly, this presentation is basically for getting clients, right? You're already in a phase that you're getting clients and getting people to join the platform as clients, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Super. Nice. Good. So now we're turning to our friends in the chat, and what we want to ask you is the following: what doesn't make sense? What are the things that you think Matthew can improve in the pitch? He's now on a crusade of getting more and more clients, and the question to you is basically, what do you think can be improved here in the presentation? What was maybe, because this is an industry that is that has, like Matthew said, a lot of scams. What are the questions that you have, or what would prevent you from joining something like that? So anything that you can share with Matthew on how to make this presentation better, or what was missing, or what is a problem that you think will prevent people from joining, let us know. Let us know in the chat. We're looking forward to hearing your feedback. And yeah, let's have a quick look on what we've got so far. So if you can please write it in the chat, because we're only tracking the chat. Most of us was interesting, and by the way, Matthew, we will not have time to answer here. Most of us was interested in knowing what is your plan for the coming halving. Apparently, there is a halving in something in cryptocurrency, so we don't have the time to answer. But just for you to know that this is the first comment that we have. S&D is asking, what is the cost of entry for customers and what is the average return per customer? I think you discussed the average return, Matthew, on basically 2 to 32 cents a month, but the actually entry fee was missing, and this is something I was wondering about it as well. So
it's very true. So it's a very good thing.
What's your entry? Let's in one sentence go over the entry fee.
Yeah, it's 2,000 euros. Very simple. And the reason is because initially we didn't have this sharing opportunity. Like you were giving us the money and we were buying machines just for you. And the problem we had at that time is that, for example, with 2,000 euros, we could buy, for example, 2 machines for you, like 6 months ago. But today we could buy, for example, 5 machines with the same amount, which is a big problem because we would have some clients who would have 2 machines and some clients with 5 machines of the same type, same model, I would say. So that was a big problem. And like this disparity, you know? So we
Got you.
decided
Okay,
to
wait, so
neutralize everything.
2,000 euros.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Super. So, Matthew, just as a side note, this was really, really missing in the presentation. So I would put it in the next presentation that you do. This is crucial information. What is the entry level? It's a comfortable entry level. So that's good. Let's have a look at more because we have 3 more people that are pitching today. So let's have a look. Yeah, so Zita is also speaking about the entry level missing. We covered that. That's great. I think Kobe is asking what is the next step for the company. This might be a little bit missing. You know, if we're investors and we're thinking about do we want to go into this, it's kind of interesting to kind of know what is the next stage, like where is this going to, like what's.
Yes.
So that's interesting, and you might mention it in the next presentation. Let's see, Mike V is saying that he was missing a little bit of details about how do you onboard the client. Like
yes,
so
it's true.
all this process of entry fee, 2,000 euros. Then after you pay the 2,000 euros to a bank transfer, so far. So this one was a little bit missing,
yes,
and I
that's
would.
very true. Yeah. Of course, I
Excellent.
have the answers, but it's true they are
Good,
not in the
good.
presentation, so we'll
Excellent.
add them
So
for sure.
that's the entire process of like the only goal is to make you improve the next one. This was a good
Yes,
presentation, by
that's
the way. It was very
brilliant,
clear and it was
brilliant.
very
Thank you very much.
great. Let's have a look at other. So Celia is asking, what does the customer actually need to mine the cryptocurrency other than buying the machine? Apparently nothing, but maybe you want to stress even more that, hey, we take care of everything. You put the initial investment, you receive the money, and you as a client do not have to do anything. So that's great. Wayne is actually talking about something that makes a lot of sense, and I think I would mention this as well. He's asking what is the risk.
What
And I
is the
think
risk?
that
Yes.
when you're doing a presentation like this, especially in a place where you know this field is so full with scams and so on,
Yes.
you want to be as
It's true.
honest, as transparent as possible. So you don't want to mention a sentence of, hey guys and girls, if you invest, do know that this is an annual, let's say monthly return in case the price stays the same. However, there is always a chance that the price drops, and then in this situation, so you
You're
want to explain
absolutely
this.
right.
This will increase. So this is from Wayne. I totally agree with him. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's basically it. So, Matthew, I think that was a really good presentation. You got some feedback here to kind of prepare you for the future presentation as well. You're pretty much there. I would just say that I missed personally. My feedback is I missed a little bit on the regulation of, let's say, you know, in the back of everyone's mind is like
Regulations.
I'm giving you actually not the regulation but the protection. Let's say I'm giving you 2,000 euros. And let's say as much as a nice person that you seem and so on, that you disappear. So the idea is that I would probably, this was deadly missing for me. How is it guaranteed? Like if you would tell me a sentence like, look, you put this money, but this is passed into something that has an accountant and a trustee. So they
Yes.
make sure this will really calm a lot of paranoid people out there, not so paranoid people, because in the end of the day, they transfer you money. You want to create some kind of a mechanism that guarantees that their money would not disappear. And this was missing as well. I think if you can be, I don't know if you have a solution for that, but if you do, would be good to mention it in the presentation as well.
Yeah.
That's absolutely great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so just to make it very short on this one, that's the reason actually we are in Europe, because if we try to disappear, look, so I'm from Europe, the company is in Europe, the bank accounts are in Europe as well. So that's the security we have. Of course, there's never 100% security.
It's not enough to
but
say, you know,
yeah.
go locate someone that disappears in Europe. Almost impossible. So the idea is if you can add an extra layer, I don't know how, again, maybe you can, but if you can add an extra layer of an accountant, a trustee, something that makes people relax, you know.
Well, we
That'd
have
be
a
good.
content, of course, like for the whole thing, but
Yeah,
trustee, yeah, might be the next step, yeah, for sure.
yeah, sounds good. So Matthew, we'd love to have you in a few months
Perfect.
with the next
Super.
iteration. Okay.
Super. Thank you very much. Thank you. I just say something in 30 seconds. Thank you very much for your feedbacks. All of them make a lot of sense, and I'm going to add that in the future presentations because it's true that it was some things were missing.
Brilliant.
So thank you.
By
Thank
the
you
way,
very much.
if you want to share with us in the chat the summitmining.io link, feel free to do that. Absolutely great.
Okay,
So good luck,
perfect.
Matthew.
And if you want to contact me, just send me a message on one of the following ones, and I'll be happy to help you.
That's great. You
Thank
can
you.
also put
Thank
it
you
in the
again.
chat. Super. Okay. Good luck.
Super.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Good luck. Okay. Great. We're moving on to the second presentation. That was a really good presentation, and we're moving on to. Let's see who was second. We have Rob. Rob, you're going second. Let me promote you to panelist. Just a second. So really good feedback from everyone. We want to thank everyone for giving feedback to Matthew. Now he has a lot of work, so it's absolutely brilliant. Good. Just a minute. So Rob, we're promoting you. We can hear you. We can't see you. You have a camera icon.
I have a camera icon. Start video. Okay, now we're on.
So where are you calling from, Rob?
I'm currently living in Jerusalem in Israel.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, good.
Beautiful,
good
lovely,
stuff.
sunny, warm weather. Well, it's cold here.
Yeah, we know. All of us in Europe are suffering a little bit, so that's good. Good. So maybe you have a presentation you want to share with us?
Yes, indeed. And I do that with share. And I've got all these exclamation marks. Share.
Take your time. After you, by the way, we're going to have Julian and Scott. So you guys can get...
Desktop. Oh, share.
Well,
allows you to share your screen. Okay. Oh, okay. It's now, what's going on here?
There is a green button, a green share button. I don't know if you...
I've got that, and up comes now all these other boxes.
Really? Okay. Choose the my screen, my desktop, whatever makes sense.
Yeah,
there.
my desktop. I've got that. And I've got share.
Okay.
Open system security and grant access. So 1 second, I've got to go here and grant access.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Your computer is well protected. That's good.
Oh, I don't even know how to do. Sorry. I apologize. I don't understand. Open system preferences, security and private.
Ah, wow. You have really, really tough privacy. Yeah. Do you have a website that is currently working? We can kind of...
Not really. System preferences. Here we go. Security and privacy. We're going to come up in a minute. Apologies.
We can actually, what we can do as you're solving your security issue, we can switch to... Let's see if you can solve it in a few seconds. And if not, Julian, we're going to promote you to switch with Rob, and Rob will go after you.
Yeah, why don't we do that? And I'll, why don't you do that?
Yeah, super.
I can't bring it up. I've got a Mac machine.
Okay. Mac is, that's good. Okay, so Rob, we'll be with you shortly. Julian, you're going next. So let's have a look. Just a minute. Julian, I'm promoting you. Okay.
Can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you, we can see you. Super. Where are you calling from, Julian?
So right now, based in Berlin, in the factory here.
I was in TechCrunch Disrupt Berlin last week. It was a good event.
Okay, very nice. How was it?
Nice, very nice. Intimate, but pretty cool.
Okay, nice.
Good. You want to share a presentation with us?
Yeah, working on that right now. 1 second.
Let's see if your privacy settings will allow that. That's going to be interesting.
Okay, great. I have to activate it and quit Zoom. Okay, great.
Everyone has privacy.
Wait. Let's see.
You're trying to use the share button. Here it is. Yeah, we can see it. Super.
Yep.
Teach side. Okay, so good luck, Julian.
Cool. Thanks a lot. 1 second. One second, just have to... So I get everything in order. Okay, cool. So let's start. So Hey everyone, my name is Julian. I'm the CEO of TeachSite, and we are transforming the way that schools find the best teachers. So there are three things that are fundamentally broken in all developed countries. It's the environment, it's healthcare, and it's education. But the biggest lever definitely has education of the next kids and the next generations, because it's starting at the very root, and we can literally educate them to fix all the other things. But what is it actually that's kind of specifically broken in education? So whether it's poor teaching equipment, ailing facilities, or a high teacher turnover, it all comes down to a wrong and inefficient allocation of funds in the education sector. So for example, did you know that for hiring a new teacher, a school in the US is spending around $20,000, and that's more than McKinsey is actually spending on hiring a new consultant. And there's 500,000 teachers starting in new teaching jobs every single year. So the total cost for schools is around $10 billion annually. And at the same time, the US is actually experiencing the worst teacher shortage in the history of the country, with over 390,000 open teaching positions. So clearly, there's a pretty big problem in the market. But where is it actually coming from? So schools are still using very traditional and analog recruiting channels, such as newspaper advertisement, job fairs, and placement agencies, which take ages to find the right candidates and cost way too much for that. And on the other hand, teachers are complaining about a super tedious job finding process that is not targeted for their needs at all. So they have to submit around 20 applications just to find one suitable teaching job. And this way they spend around 2 full months just finding one single job. And we are solving these two problems on the market for schools by connecting them with the best teachers through TeachSite, a curated job finding platform. So with our automated and user-friendly process, we cut down the total time it takes a teacher to find a job to around 30 minutes from 2 months in total. And by giving schools direct access to carefully selected and vetted teachers at the click of a button, we can reduce their hiring costs by roughly 85%. So within the first 2 weeks of our website going live, we actually achieved 150 plus signups from teachers. And just to put this into perspective, the largest incumbent placement agency that's been around for 30 years now manages to sign up around 150 teachers per month. So within 2 weeks, we're already better than the biggest player in the market right now. And additionally, we have got pretty good feedback from school principals and superintendents around the US, proving that our problem, or that that's actually a problem that they're trying to solve, and that our solution is working for that. So currently, this market in the US alone is worth around $10 billion annually, and the new generation of teachers that are entering the job market now is even more prone to change their jobs frequently, so the churn of candidates is expected to increase even more, and by that, the cost as well. So as a company vision, we want to grow this business into the international go-to solution for connecting teachers and schools. And we also want to create an additional lock-in effect for schools by offering more value-add services for educational institutions along the value chain. So I have an economics background. I've studied at Bocconi University and the London Business School in London. I've built a B2B sales organization for Rocket Internet in the fintech space, and I worked in strategy consulting for the last 3 years, where I was also involved in the recruiting of fresh consultants. So I've seen the recruiting market from both sides. My co-founder, Law, is a serial founder with expertise in building highly scalable enterprise-grade software, as well as long-term contributor for a non-profit education project worldwide, while dealing with schools and teachers on a weekly basis. So come join us on a way to fix the education system, the one thing that really matters to all of us.
Super. Wow, good. And on time. That was really, really good. Very well timed. That's great.
Perfect.
Good, Julian. So that was a very sharp presentation. What are you looking for currently? Would it be investors? Would it be teachers signing up? Would it be like, what's your feedback? What's your main thing?
Yeah, so just to put into perspective, we're currently in the Entrepreneur First program in Berlin. So it's basically a talent investor program. Right now, we're preparing for kind of pitching to investors. So that's number one topic on our mind right now, to raise the kind of pre-seed or seed round, and then fully deploy the service and also move to the US to build it there.
Okay, super. So we're turning to our chat friends, and again, the voice for just like we help Matthew. Let's try to help as much as possible to Julian as well. Julian is trying to get investment. Investors are tough. He's going to go to pitch with his presentation to investors. And the question is, what are the things that he needs to change in order to, let's say, improve the presentation? So there are 30 of you here, so you should be able to give him a little bit about feedback about what are the main things that you think are gonna make it or break it when he speaks with investors? What was missing? What would you add? Anything that comes to mind. Let's hope Julian have more fun and productive encounters with investors with higher chance of getting investors. Think about it. If you would be an investor, everyone in the chat, what comes to mind? What is missing? What is kind of like the things that maybe you need? You would advise Julian to add. So let's have a quick look.
So Wayne made a really good point.
We'll see Zitach. We'll start with Zitach. So basically, okay. So yeah, Wayne is saying the teachers are not getting enough respect, and we need to change that. Yeah, I think Julian, the interesting thing is maybe to maybe elaborate a little bit on the traction of the 150 about what does it mean? How many of them actually got interviews? How many of them actually started the process? What's the acceptance rates and so on? Because those are questions that are probably gonna end up. So basically, the minute you mentioned the 150 number, basically what Wayne is saying is that there are probably follow-up questions that are going to tell you, okay, 150, but let's talk about what happened with those 150.
And that goes hand in hand with the question or the point that Wayne raised. So those 150 teachers, just to put this into perspective, so we basically launched the website 2 weeks ago, kind of a very early MVP product just to validate the demand from both sides, just a very simple sign-up form. So we kind of validated with the 150 teachers that there's a demand from the teacher side. So and we also interviewed all of them like afterwards just to get full-on customer feedback. And we got the feedback that that's definitely a big problem for them, and that kind of our process of cutting it down completely is helping them quite a lot. So these 150 teachers, they're not placed with schools yet. They're kind of in our network of existing teachers right now. And we have around 15 schools in the US signed up right now. So after 2 weeks, as potential kind of customers on the other end. So right now we're doing the matchmaking kind of between the schools and the teachers in terms of the location, in terms of the kind of the type of school and the subjects. So it slowed down a bit over the last week, obviously because of the winter break, and it's not kind of hiring season right now. But out of the 150 teachers, I think we got around 30 profiles that are currently in the hands of schools and that are looking at these profiles right now.
Okay, super. So the idea is just for when you go to the investors, make sure that you can granulate the data a little bit more so you can, because those are questions that probably what you're going to receive as an answer is, okay, Julian, come back to us when you have data about the conversion, about the interviews and so on. So that's absolutely great that you started and super. Yeah, I think Zitach is talking about the same thing, kind of like give more data to be in a situation that you don't have too small of a sample. When he's talking about the market, I think you actually covered it. I don't think there is a lot more to do with the market because there is so much potential out there. So you're on the right track. But apparently Zitach also thinks that they missed a little bit about what is the size of the opportunity. I would do the following. If you have numbers about how much schools are currently spending on hiring, that's basically the size of the market. Like some kind of numbers that are going now into this industry would be interesting to kind of incorporate them a little bit as well. Good. One thing that comes to mind is basically connecting to what Wayne said about the sales. I think you've not mentioned the monetization, like what at least is the assumption of who's going to pay? Is it going to be the teachers? Is it going to be the schools and so on? Probably in your case, the schools, probably in your case, retainer deals and so on. You do want to mention those things when you go to investors. So even in a few lines, just in case.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's see if we have anything else. Yeah, Matthew is talking a little bit about the financial revenue forecast. If the presentation, again, like that's what investors are usually like to see. I wouldn't go too wild about it because everyone knows that predictions are, it's something that nobody can predict those things. But if you show them the financial revenue forecast, like Matthew is saying, you basically show them that you thought about how do you make money and how big is the market. So even if it's theoretical, at least you show them that there was some thinking here specifically about that. Saurav just wanted to say that he really likes your presentation. It was a good presentation. I agree. It was a good presentation. Kobe is asking us about the thing that was missing a little bit for him was the competitors and what is the barrier of entry. And I think this was missing a little bit as well. Like you talked about the competitors being a little bit slow, but we didn't really talk about what are the current solutions that the market is currently using to address this problem. So it's something to think about. The barrier of entry is also important to kind of mention. I think that in general, Julian, connecting to Kobe's point about the barrier of entry, there was too little information, and that's because it was too little minutes to pitch it. Well, you didn't have a lot of time, but there was no clear understanding about what makes this product really special. Like what is the technology behind it? What is the differentiation? What is the barrier of entry? Why are you better than anyone else that would set a portal now of matchmaking of teachers and schools? So that was missing, you know, whether it's AI, machine learning, whatever you're doing, you kind of want to let the investors know that, hey, we're on to something very, very special here. So that's great. Wayne is asking about how do you make money? We covered that. That's an important question. SD is talking a little bit about the other larger sites. Thanks, SD, for mentioning them, Monster and Indeed. Again, there has to be some kind of a differentiation that is very, very powerful on the product side, and it was missing a little bit. Great, and Saurabh is mentioning the things that we talked about, the peek into the future and how your product is combining with it, AI, machine learning, basically saying that you don't think in a few years there's going to be a robot teaching lessons, the business model, where is the money, and so on. So you have the same thing coming back after time. So you kind of you have a lot of nice feedback here to work on the next iteration of the presentation. Great. Kobe is recommending that you finish your presentation with the contact details.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's see. Wow, you have a lot of feedback here. That's absolutely great. So I think we covered a lot of points. By the way, Julian, what I recommend, copy paste the feedback while you're from the chat, and just have a look later with you and Lawrence, go over it and kind of figure out what are the main things that keep on repeating. Amazing, that's great. I think we're pretty much done. So Julian, thanks, good presentation. I'm pretty sure the next iteration will be even better and you're on a good path. So that sounds amazing.
Thanks a lot, appreciate the feedback, everyone.
Okay, have a good one, super.
Thanks.
Good, Rob, we're gonna switch to you. Hopefully the security problems in Jerusalem have been resolved. So let me just, I'm in Haifa, by the way. Usually I'm now in Zagreb in Croatia. By the way, if someone is in Zagreb in Croatia, let me know, we get coffee. So Rob, let me quickly see if I can promote you. Just a second. Let's see if it works.
Unmute and start video.
You're doing fine. Let's see the sharing.
Sharing, very good desktop. And we'll go share. Let's try that.
Yeah, we can see.
We can see.
Yeah, portguru.travel. Okay. So
all right. So thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it. Airports were built for planes, not for people. The Port Guru Travel mobile app is designed to help travelers manage their airport experience and provide them with value for money retail offers. Hi, I'm Rob Gatroy. I'm an Aussie expat living in Jerusalem in Israel. I'm currently the sole founder of portguru.travel, and supporting me with this venture are 3 senior business people with expertise in innovation, international travel, and business development. Having formerly worked in the diplomatic corps for the Australian government, I've seen more airports than most people have had hot dinners. What I've found is that international airport travellers have pretty much the same 5 problems. 1, they're perpetually worried about being late and missing the flight. 2, lots of different travel documents like passport, e-tickets, hotel, car reservations, maps, etc. 3, how is the best way to get to and from an airport, particularly if you've never been there before? 4, finding out what you need and where to get it, like a wheelchair or a SIM card or the VAT refund desk. And 5thly, airport retail and duty-free is no bargain. As for the airport retailers, their problem is that less than 20% of people ever intend to buy anything. And even with the growing aviation market, retail spend per person is only $7.12 per person, and that's declined by 17% over the last 3 years. So our solution is to provide travellers with an all-in-one mobile app that not only solves their airport travel problems, but also personalises their airport experience. The app is made up of 5 key modules that react and interact with the traveller's personal preferences, which we know from their profile page. First module is a digital document wallet that conveniently stores and provides travel information when it's needed. So no more searching for that vast chasm in the travel bag to find your hotel reservation or your e-ticket. Secondly, assistance as to the best way to get to and from the airport with useful information such as where do I collect the bus and will they take credit card payments? Third, a countdown clock that gives clear and accurate updates as to how much time there is before the gate closes and you really do need to panic. 4, live updates as to flight departure times and departure gate changes. And 5thly, retail coupons with discounts specifically matched to the traveller's preferred product category and brand, like, in my case, single malt Scotch whisky, Macallan. So the app has this unique ability to drive verifiable sales to the retailer. We provide the traveller with a cash rebate of 2/3 of the negotiated commissions we receive from the retailer. How it works is that the traveller receives a digital coupon for, say, $10 cash rebate against the purchase of their preferred product and brand. They make their purchase as normal, and then through the app, they scan their receipt, which is then sent automatically to us. We then pay the rebate amount directly into their nominated cash account, like PayPal. We then tally up all the sales made and invoice the retailer for the agreed commissions payable on those sales.
Rob, you have 1 more minute, so make the best out of it.
The benefit for the retailer is that there's no impact on their IT system and they pay commissions on the sales. The market is huge, international travel, 4 billion passengers per year, and retail spending is $79 billion a year. Our target market is the 22 to 55-year-old business and holiday makers. We have a number of competitors, and they're either in the itinerary management, airport facility, or retail e-commerce apps. Unlike them, we're actually going to put them all together and provide them to the user free of charge. So how do we make money? We make money on the sale, on commission of sales to the retailers, personalized advertising, and eventually then passenger data available to the airports. Our go-to strategy is a combination of specific app marketing, strategic partnerships with retailers, brands, and airports, social media, and PR. So where we are today, we've completed all our research and our business planning. We're actually developing a working prototype at the moment and also talking to large duty-free and retail outlets in the major markets that we're initially targeting in the UK, USA, and in Israel. So what we're looking for, $600,000 investment based on a convertible note that will allow us to then develop the NFP into at least 1 version, launch the marketing campaign, and establish our initial corporate team. And that's us, PodGuru.travel.
Good presentation, good graphics, by the way. I like the graphics. Super. So, Rob, I'm kind of wondering, actually, I forgot to ask the other 2 that were doing the presentation. Do you want to ask a question to the people here? Let's do a survey. Do you want to ask them maybe, in the case of an app, usually it's either, is it clear, or even better with an app, is there enough pain to use the app? You want one of them? Is one of them interesting for you?
I suppose one of the aspects, do people use apps when they're in an airport, whether it's an airport app, an itinerary management app like TripIt, or go online through the e-commerce sites of the duty-free, like World Duty Free or DFS, and buy product?
Got you. Okay, so let me launch a question that we have in advance that we always put. When you people are answering this, please think about, in general, is something like this, in the style of this, is necessary? Like Rob said, would you use it? Would you install it? Would you download and use it when you're in the airport? So I'm going to launch this poll just to give Rob a little bit of understanding. because apps can be difficult in some case. So let's give Rob as your answers, and so he has a little bit of an indication about the need of those apps while being in the airport. This is one of the most important things. And great. Now, as you are feeling the questions, let's move on to the feedback. So we need you to help us, just like you helped Julian and Matthew. Help Rob with. He's going to investors. He's going to ask for $600,000 in convertible bonds, and we need his meetings to be as successful as possible. So think as investors, just like you helped Julian with his investor dilemma. And let Rob know what are the most things that come into mind as he's approaching investors that might be a problem. What can he improve in the presentation? What maybe was problematic in the business model? Anything that comes to mind that can help Rob as he's working on the next iteration of the presentation would be absolutely great. Rob, I'm going to share with you the results from the poll that we've launched. So what we have here are so mixed results. You have only 14% of the people that say, look, we're going to use either this or anything else that is kind of like in the style of this application. We have 43% that are on the fence, that are not sure. Like it's not really something that is burning in them to install an app and start using it in an airport. And you have 43% that are convinced that they wouldn't use. So you have a little bit of a problem here, apparently on the user side, on how do you persuade people that, look, this is worth your time. Not only airports are stressful, it's worth your time to kind of download and use this application. And this is usually either a problem with the product, that maybe there is nothing you can do, or more frequently with the messaging of kind of how do you make it more clear to people that, hey, you want to use this app. So something to think about. I'm not sure there are any solutions here, but this is an initial poll that kind of shows you something. And let's turn to, again, there's a lot of travel apps now, and a lot of things are happening in this field. Travel is changing dramatically. Let's have a look at the chat and try to give Rob a little bit of feedback over here. Okay, so let's see. Wayne is saying that this was a great presentation. You covered everything that needs to be in a presentation. I agree, by the way. You didn't miss anything. That was really good. On all the checkboxes are marked, on traction, on business model, and so on. Wayne is kind of pushing you into focus on the profile of the user, because, and I agree, by the way, with what Wayne is saying. Is the focus business traveler or leisure traveler? We don't have the time to answer because we're almost in the end and we have one person pitching. But the idea is that there is a sense that, by the way, it does connect, Rob, to the poll that we launched with the not enough clear pain. One of the best methods of creating pains is to focus more. And then your value proposition is focused on a specific, let's say, business traveler or leisure traveler or whatever. But sometimes when people are saying that there isn't enough pain, it insinuates the problem that Wayne is talking about, hey, who is this for? Because it can't be for everyone. So something very, very good from Wayne, and I totally endorse this comment. Vicky is saying that he had a little bit of data missing about the current development stage of Port Guru, what was exactly achieved, and probably what he's insinuating to is he would put probably mock-ups here, and I would as well, like at least show us what is the flow, some kind of, even if you didn't have it programmed, mock-ups are relatively 1 day, 2 days, you have mock-ups. So it's something that is probably going to help you on the milestone achieved and so on. So I'm here as well. Like you didn't cover enough the current stage of development. Christian is saying that this was a good presentation. Pooja is saying this is a good presentation. And again, Pooja is kind of saying they were missing the MVP. They were missing what was built until now. Maybe a few mock-ups and so on. That would be really good. Matthew says that as an investor, he's not sure that it was very clear about what is he getting from convertible notes. I think it's relatively clear. Like convertible notes can convert into equity. So over here you have the ability to do that. So I would actually not go that deep in presentations like that on like just give the number. This is what we're looking for, and maybe in a total valuation of X, Y, Z. Kobe is saying that maybe before raising a fund, why not do a pilot and validate the product, just like Julian is doing. Julian, for example, has 150 people currently using this thing, his product. So maybe Kobe is kind of insinuating that maybe you should do the same, push a little bit more into getting real traction, and then go to the investors, because investors are tough, especially in Israel. I know, I talked with them. So you kind of like don't want to be in the idea phase. You want to move beyond it. So what Julian is doing is absolutely brilliant on that front. Yeah, Sarov is maybe talking about what exactly would be done with the 600K and what would be the stage after the 600K is spent. So that's something that maybe is worthwhile mentioning. And again, I'm going back to the point Kobe made. You really need to maybe push it a little bit, not only the mock-ups, but an experiment, some kind of an experiment, even if it's not with the app and it's an offline experiment, but something that can reduce the uncertainty here. I don't know how to do it, but it's a really good point.
And that's just quickly, that's exactly what we're doing with the NFP. We're building that in order to then actually trial it out. So that's what we're doing.
Super, that's great. Kobe is saying that he had missing a little bit the marketing strategy. Is it B2B? Is it B2C? And so on. So I think it was a little bit there with the commissions and everything. But again, the idea is that Rob, you kept on saying something that it's everything for everyone, and that's why we're different from the competitors. Do know that investors usually are afraid of those sentences, because now the niching down, the becoming a painkiller for a specific niche is important. So I would maybe think about that as well. Scott, good, thanks for having you here. That's great. And let's see what SD is saying. SD is saying maybe one more thing that you can do is warning users if the transit visa is needed in advance or something like that. That would be interesting.
It's in this.
It's there. That's super great. Good. Let's see. We have a lot of comments here. Again, Rob, I recommend copy pasting those things and going to the drawing board as well. Zitach is agreeing that there is a problem on focusing on the user. Who is it for? Who is it for? Because it can't be for everyone. So something to think about. Yeah, and again, Zita is saying, look, there is a specific segment within populations that would need this more than anyone else. For example, Zita is saying the less experienced nervous traveler, rather than someone who is used to airports. So the idea is, the minute you kind of build it, then you will probably have better poll results on are we solving a real pain here? Because you're no longer for everyone, but you're for those who need you most. Let's see. Yeah, and SD is talking again on the transit, how not to lose your transit flights and so on. This is a big thing, and this is actually the only thing that worries me at that point, that I'm going to lose those guys. So that's something to think about. Absolutely great. Okay, so that was a lot of feedback. People, I know that we have one more presenter, Scott, but we are way above our time. You're also not going to get a lot of feedback because everyone prepared for 1 hour. So Scott, we're going to keep you for the next one. You're going to go first for the next one. Rob, thanks a lot and good luck. Keep us updated on how it goes, and we'll definitely be interested to hear about it. Great, good. So we're pretty much done for today. Scott, really sorry again. You're the first one to go on the next time, and I really want to thank everyone for participating, for giving so much feedback. That was super valuable feedback for the people that were pitching. And we'll see each other in a month. Enjoy the holidays. Until then, I'm leaving you with a few of the links that I sent you in the beginning. And have a good one. Milton, I'll see you in Cape Verde one day, and we'll be in touch. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.